Hey, what's up? It's Markell, and today I want to talk about asking for help on career development or academic development and all that kind of stuff. So when I thought about it, I felt like there were three major types of help that we kind of seek. And each kind of help requires a different level of effort. So let's start with a very low level help, which is understanding. Imagine you're sitting in class and your professor, teacher, or instructor shares some information that you just don't comprehend. You probably wouldn't want to raise your hand or ask for that help in that moment, but rather struggle and put in a bunch of effort to get to the basics of just understanding. When what we should actually do is use that opportunity, because that's the best time to ask for help for understanding. And that's just like the lowest level. You shouldn't put in effort to understand something if the help is just encouraged in that moment, right? So then the second type of help would be execution or support on completing a task or something of the like, where now imagine you're trying to do your homework, and this is what I would do. I would see my homework and I could knock down like numbers 1 through 5 or whatever, and they were pretty easy. And then when it actually gets challenging, I like read the problem. I'm just like, nah, that's not happening. And I don't even try. And that's the problem, because then I'll go to my professor and say, hey, I got stuck on this problem. And he'd say, okay, where at? And I was like, square one. I haven't moved. And so sometimes that's a legitimate reason, but a lot of times I think that we have to put in that effort first to be able to then get a more targeted sense of help, where if we put in that effort, we'll be able to ask the right questions. We'll be in a place to be helped instead of getting off of the blocks. We have to move forward to some degree. And then the third type I would say would be guidance. Guidance would be, in an ideal world, you've done a significant amount of work, you put in a ton of effort, and now you need help on progressing further, right? You need guidance, you need to consult someone, and that could be like in the form of a consultant or a mentor. I feel like in this phase, you have to put in the most effort because you're trying to capitalize on the output that you can get from that situation. And now going into a couple of examples about like me and my experiences, like one thing that I goofed up on pretty badly was I had the opportunity to have dinner out here in Silicon Valley with a senior vice president of a tech company. And I told him about one of my like ideas for like an app or something. And he said, okay, let's grab dinner and we can discuss it further. We get to the dinner, we're sitting down, we're hanging out. He pulls out his notebook and says, hey, let's talk about that idea that you had for the app. And I kind of just start spewing some different thoughts that I had about it. It's like, oh, it could do this, and I would like for it to be able to do that and to connect with people for this. And I'm just kind of just all over the place with my ideas. And he said, so what have you done? I wrote my ideas down. At that moment, he just like shut his notebook and we just had dinner. And that was pretty whack. And then towards the end of the dinner, he said, this is what I need you to do. I need you to complete a business model canvas and then sit down with me so we can actually discuss that. You need to build your business model. You need to start on something. And so that was a huge learning experience for me, because I had the exposure. I had not even just the exposure. I had the opportunity to connect with someone with great influence on something that I was trying to pursue, but I hadn't put in the work beforehand. I hadn't dispensed any effort to be able to get the right guidance or the right support in executing. And so what I ended up sitting there with was just an understanding of what I should do. But I wouldn't call that guidance, because that was just getting off the blocks. And that really didn't help me too much, because it was already something I knew I should have done. I just didn't do it. You know? So that's definitely a time that I goofed up. And another thing that I wanted to say was, after my video about scholarships, I had a few people reach out to me asking me more questions and seeking help. And I guess the first thing I always ask is kind of, where are you now? You know, how much effort have you put in so far? And a lot of times it was little to none. So I guess my tip here is, if you're looking for help, you gotta be in a position to be helped. If you're trying to execute or need guidance on something, you have to put in some effort, because how is the person that you're reaching out to going to be able to help you if you've not even tried to help yourself? You know? Let me know in the comments below what you think of this, if this helps you kind of think and navigate the space of asking for help for career development. And let me know what you guys want to see on the next one. Yeah. Oh, also, another thing that I want to say is I just built my website. It's really simple, and I'm going to basically use it as a platform to parallel these videos. Comment below, subscribe to the channel, and let me know how I can be of service. Until next time, all right.